Hey folks, Deano here again. This time with probably one of my most frustrating Gunpla model kit reviews. Yeah, this is the high grade After Colony Sandrock. But as you'll already have seen, I've already reviewed this guy. So where did this one come from? This is a bootleg from JMS, one of the better bootleg companies out there for Gunpla. And yeah, they would wait until literally I had purchased this guy for far more than he's worth to decide to bring out a bootleg for a £5. So yeah, when I seen this, I was filled with a mixture of rage and sadness. But I thought I'd bring it to you guys anyway, just to show that there are alternatives. And judging from the fact that he's doing this one, they might be doing the rest of the wing kits as well, which means a much more affordable way to get the entire set. Not more affordable for me, I'm just paying extra to get the bootlegs. But yeah, as you can see, there is distinctly no box. That's because I got this from the same seller as the Rising Freedom bootleg, which was a really good kit. You should take a look at it. Link will be at the end of the video if you wish to see that review. But yeah, again, the same seller in his infinite wisdom, despite the fact that the parcel I received was basically the size of 2 model kit boxes anyway, decided to send me just the sprues in bubble wrap. Which I am frankly amazed that both kits got to me in one piece with not a single bit broken. But yeah, just something to be wary with AliExpress. They love to do you out of a box, even when it doesn't even make sense to remove it. So yeah, there won't be a box segment in this review. So instead, I'll obviously be comparing it to the official one at the end. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at his accessories. Oh, and link will be in the description, of course, if you want to purchase this guy. No point putting a link for the official one, because it's far too expensive at this point. So yeah, on to the accessories. So, in terms of accessories, this guy comes with everything the official came with, although strangely and curiously, it comes with some of the parts for the P Bandai Sandrock quote-unquote custom, which in the show, the Sandrock custom was literally just the exact same mobile suit with a couple of added on pieces and an Uzi the size of a house for some reason. But yeah, you'll notice straight off the bat his shoulders have the custom shoulders on them instead of the standard ones, which I'll just quickly show off here. And yes, I am including them as accessories because they are extras in the box. So these are the ones that the standard Sandrock has, quite plain, quite indented in there. The custom has the sort of vented versions, so I decided to go with them. And you also get a couple of extra pieces for this, which I believe is because his backpack, not his backpack, his butt flap actually gets swapped out on the P Bandai version, and you get an extra thruster on the back. But yeah, strangely enough, even though you get those pieces, you don't get the upgraded backpack, butt flap, or Uzi, which I thought was a bit strange, to be completely honest with you. I am not sure if I am missing a sprue and it's meant to come with it, or if that's just JMS sort of wink wink nudge nudging the fact that he's going to make another version. I don't know why I'm referring to him as a he. It might be a full-fledged company for all I know. But yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Some of the parts are there, some of them aren't. Not sure what's going on there. If all the parts would have been there, I would have frankly built this as a Sandrock custom so that I could justify having 2 Sandrocks in my display. But yeah, Not sure what's going on there. In terms of the rest of the accessories, he has his shotels, same as the official one does. I have already gone ahead and given these a single coat of my metallic paint pen, so they're already looking much better than usual. Anyone who knows the original one knows these were literally just grey plastic, which looked horrible. This looks much better. I'll be putting a couple more coats on just so I can get rid of the streaks that's on them. But yeah, apart from that, looks really nice. We also have the parts for his heat shuttle, which is basically the same blades but in a red plastic, or in this case an orange plastic, which frankly is a better fit than what the official gave us. If I quickly bring them in to compare, this is the official colour, a deep red, which kind of looks a bit, yeah. I mean, it's decent when the light shines off it, but like I said in the Sandrock, the official review, if these would have been a lighter plastic like this, or if they would have had some sort of like orange through them to make it look as if it's on fire, which is what these are meant to be. It's meant to be superheated metal, which is basically caught fire. But yeah, I much prefer the colour on the bootleg version, so props to them there. And apart from that, he does have a shield, before I forget about it. Standard shield, same one that comes with the official. Even comes with the stickers, although the stickers are a bit worse than the official. You can kind of tell a bit more here that they are stickers. But yeah, they get the job done. Nice enough. On the back, I've just done a bit of panel lining, as I do with all these kits before I review them, just so you can see what they're like with a tiny bit of effort put in. Literally just an extra 30 seconds every time I build a piece. Like, you just go over it with the pour marker or the standard marker, and you're good to go. So in terms of hands, which are the last accessories it comes with, you get the pair of fist block hands, which I've got on him as the default. This being the wing kits, they also come with these really nice sort of angled grips, which give him a much more badass look, and it doesn't look as static. And a pair of not sort of posy hands, but more relaxed, splayed open hands, which are decent enough, but not something I'll ever be using personally. So yeah, in terms of the kit itself, I've got to say I'm kind of impressed. The plastic, like the white plastic, is not as good quality as the official. I will say that right off the bat. There are a couple of points where said plastic has had hairline fractures because of the pore type markers. Frankly, if you're going to be panel lining these bootlegs, I would recommend you go for the sort of actual pen, the actual pen version, the micron style pens. They're a bit messier and harder to apply in my opinion, but they don't have any of the harsh chemicals that are in the pore pens. So yeah, the standard Gunpla can handle the pore pens just fine, but bootlegs, because the plastic tends to be of lower quality or varying degrees of lower quality, it's more prone to those fractures. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. You can tell mostly where the sort of details are a bit softer when you look at the head itself. I had a hell of a time detailing those two little notches on his muzzle. or his mouth flap, or whatever you want to call it. Compare that to the official, and I had absolutely no issues whatsoever. So yeah. But other than that, it's really good. Like, unless, like me, you have both side to side, side by side, honestly, you'll not really be able to tell the difference. The only thing that, like, we're not sure of yet, because these are just new, is will the polycaps hold up? Because frankly, the real polycaps are bad enough, and fake polycaps seem to last only days. Like, not even joking. Like, the wing Gundam bootleg that I done, that thing fell apart. I'm not even joking. Like, I barely touched it after the review, and unfortunately, yeah, it can't hold its own weight anymore, which is a bit of a shame. I really should do like an updated video for those. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, other than that, details are really nice. I do really like them. The stickers are mostly fine. Like I said, they're a bit on the glossier, cheaper side than the official, but they get the job done. But yeah, in terms of articulation, let's get the shield off the other now. That peg is very tight in the forearm. Very difficult to get that out. Unfortunately, that's just bootleg tolerances. So he can look up a lot, like impressively so. I'm not sure if the official can do that, but this one sure can. He can't really look down much at all. That's about as good as you're getting. Because it's a polycap, and a rather tight one at that, you get a lot of pivot side to side as long as you get out of the way of these sort of chest nodules, or whatever you want to call them. But as long as you get that out of the way, the head can move really nicely. Shoulders, they're on the weird back to front polycaps. They pop in really tightly, by the way, so I don't have any worry about them popping out. But yeah, they go up the way, which I suppose is good for extra movement with the shoulder, because the shoulder, while it is on its own hinge, it's still sort of linked to the arm. So yeah, you get full rotation. You don't really get much in the way of butterfly joint because there isn't any. You're really just flexing the peg in there. So that's about as much as you get. You have bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow, which gets pretty much the full 180. Ball joint at the wrist, which is a nice firm sort of pop in there. The abs, because we have this sort of design that's unique to the wing series, you've got this sort of popping out bit right there at the waist, which gives them a lot of down. Doesn't really get back any though, which is a bit of a shame. He is on a ball joint at the waist, so although you do have to kind of pull it out a bit to get that side to side pivot. So yeah, something else to keep in mind. Come on, pop back down. Thank you. In terms of the skirts, because these are bootlegs, they are a bit more loose than on the official, but they still get out of the way reasonably well. They have this sort of weird pivot forward system, which gives them more kick up, but I tend to just leave it standard because it still gets a decent range. Hips, the side skirts can get out of the way that much, so they get out of the way enough. Doesn't do the full splits, but it doesn't really need to. It's the Sandrock. He's not exactly doing backflips all the time, is he? Well, I guess he is. Back skirt is on a hinge, which is surprising considering this is like an older style kit with polycaps. Even the new like Freedom kits, which I have reviewed, even those like don't have moving back skirts for the most part. So yeah, oh, that just popped out like so. That's lovely. That just popped back in. Yes, it does. That's fine. Yeah, as long as you're careful with that, you can pop it back in. Double joint at the knee, gets decent enough range. This massive sort of foot skirt really gets in the road. It's popped in at the back, so it moves with the foot, but at the same time it is more limited. So you can get that much of an ankle rocker both ways. You do get a little bit of forward and back on the kit, which really helps forward and backwards movement of the foot. And then you get to articulation, like so. So yeah, overall, like, I am really impressed with this guy. He does come with a water slide decals, which is even more impressive for a £6 kit. But if the water slide decals are anything like the Rising Freedom ones, for that bootleg, I don't hold out much hope for them actually like staying on long term. Which is why I didn't even bother putting them on, which is a shame. But yeah, give me 2 seconds and I will grab those. So there they are. That's the water slide decals for the Sandrock, which is nice. There's a lot of detail bits here and there, a lot to put on. So yeah, if anyone else wants to try it, and let me know, I will be much obliged. I'm not actually sure if these are even meant for the high grade. Like, where exactly am I meant to put the serial number for the mobile suit on a suit with no wings? Not really sure. And yeah, but it's really good that they do include it. Like, even if they aren't the best, I suppose you could use the cement that's meant for them. So yeah, to finish off, let's bring in the real deal, just to have an up close and personal comparison here. And yeah, even side by side, like, unless you really look at it, you can't really tell that one is a bootleg and one's the official. Like, I've deliberately, like, apart from the fact that I used different panel liners for the yellow on this guy, I wanted it to be a bit more of a grungy yellow in that one, as opposed to the orange that I used in this one. But yeah, apart from that and the obvious like decals that I put on this one, I really think it's perfectly serviceable. Like, time will tell if the joints, as I said, hold up over time, but I'm impressed. Like, JMS, you're pretty decent at what you do. Yeah, time will tell, like I said, if they do more of the wing kits. If they do, I'll obviously get them and try them, especially the Wing Gundam, because even though I have the RG, I'd still want a proper representation of the high grade on my shelf, and the King Dong one is, frankly, a mess at this point. So yeah, link in the description if you want to purchase this guy. I know quite a few people, like myself, are waiting on the Sandrock to complete their wing collections. So yeah, if this one is up your street or up your alley, feel free to use the link in the description. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments, And until next time, I'll see y'all later.